You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, video games, and nerd culture, then you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is episode number 348, and I want to talk about a few things. There's been a lot going on this past week, and I'm pretty excited, man. There's a lot of stuff coming up. There's some things that I actually forgot about that are about to happen on my birthday, not just the release of The Last of Us 2 remaster, which I'm really looking forward to playing. But there's a couple other things out here down the pipeline. So we're going to get into all of it, guys. I'm going to talk about my anime watch list because I did get some awesome anime done. I'm also going to talk about Nintendo Switch. Yes, there's been some information there. And I definitely want to talk about a game for people who are keen on Pokemon. This is something that might be up your alley. Going to talk about that as well. And this is that surprise game that kind of caught me off guard a little bit there. And then we also want to talk about the Gran Blue Fantasy demo. Okay. Got a chance to sink my teeth into that and still playing that. And it's crazy because we'll talk about it. Trust me. But anyway, let's begin the show. And I'm going to start the show off with my anime watch list, guys. And man, I got a couple of things done. You guys know last week I finished Jujutsu Kaisen. I got caught up on that. I also finished finally Attack on Titan, and those were two pretty savage anime, okay, back to back. And I said, you know what? I needed a switch up. I needed a change. I needed to lighten up a little bit because those were some pretty dark ones right there. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my dark anime, and that's my preference if I am being honest. But you know, when I decided to get into anime, I wanted to be a clean slate. I didn't want to just go down certain paths and say, hey, I want to just watch shonen stuff. When I finished Naruto, it really made me understand and realize that you need to open up your palette a little bit more and just try to discover new things, you know, different types. Because I always go watch anime and I'm going through Crunchyroll and looking at stuff, and I'm looking at all these different pages, these cover arts for stuff, and I'm like, I would never watch something like this, or I don't think I would like something like that. And I was so wrong. How could I be so wrong? And I was so glad that I was so wrong about that. And it was just about me taking a shot in the dark, man, and going with the show, you know, just picking some recommendations. Some of you guys have even helped me find some that I actually fell in love with, and I just watched it and I couldn't believe how good it was. And it wasn't any shonen. There wasn't a lot of fighting or action in that sense, you know, and I ended up loving that said show just as much as a Jujutsu Kaisen or a Naruto or a Dragon Ball. So I say all that to say I had a great time this past week watching some of those, changing up the scenery on my anime. And one of those goes by the name of The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Okay. It's about a young teenager. I think he's around 16 or so. He had something happen to him at his school. And apparently these kids who he thought were his friends, he found out listening to them, he caught them in a secret conversation and found out they weren't really who he thought they were. And they were just basically using him for his money, okay? Because he would buy lunch every day for them, and he spent a lot of his money. His parents were pretty well off, and that was pretty much the backdrop. And upon finding out that he wasn't as liked as he thought he was, he decided, you know what? Fuck this school. I don't want to be here anymore. So he convinced his parents to let him go to another school. So for them to get him to go to the other school, he has to basically move away from home a little while. So he has his own apartment. Okay. And apparently this is quite normal in certain instances out here in Japan, you know, kids around 16, 17 years old, you know, as they progress in high school, a lot of these kids want to go to different schools, and they are allotted, kind of like their own dorm, so to speak, before even going to college. So that's what he was doing. He moved into his new place, and then he had a next door neighbor who was a beautiful girl, his age, going to the same school, of course. And she started out kind of rude and just kind of, weird, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. But as time went on, they became friends, and she took care of this guy, man. She went in. He was a messy guy. He was a messy kid, kept his place jacked up all the time. He could not cook to save his life. On top of all of that as well. So she went in there, she kept his house clean, kept his areas nice and neat. And then she even cooked for him. Okay. Great 5-star meals on a daily. All right. And just pampered the fuck out of him pretty much. And they developed this friendship. And over time, it was basically about them liking each other, but no one wanted to take that initial step towards telling the other person that, hey, I like you, I care about you, I love you, whatever you want to call it. And they pretty much did everything else but that. Okay. There were instances where he was sick and she made him, go to bed. She stayed with him in his apartment overnight just to make sure that he didn't get up, and stayed in bed and got his rest, and make sure he was fed and he ate right and all these things. And something happened similar to her, as episodes later, and he did the same thing. And they went out of their way to try to let everybody else know, their friends and everybody at the school know, that they were not a couple. Okay. It was just very, very refreshing. It was something that I found myself engulfed in. I finished it in 2 sittings. So I think I watched half of it one sitting and then the other half the other. It's like 12 episodes long, and it's an excellent anime. I actually really enjoyed myself. And once again, the name of that anime is The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. So if you're looking for something different and you want to take a chance on something, definitely check this one out. And I looked it up. I found it because I was looking at like the best anime of 2023. And this one came up as an honorable mention. So I was just taking notes, writing stuff down, and Crunchyroll just has so many different anime. So I just got lost in the sauce, found it, wrote it down, and decided to give it a chance. And I'm so glad that I did. Okay. The next anime that I'm not finished with this one. I'm probably halfway done with this, but this is the next anime. It's another lighthearted one, and it's a harem anime. I guess you can categorize it as a harem anime. If you guys don't know what a harem anime is, for the new listeners, it's basically, usually it revolves around one guy and multiple girls who are into that one said guy. So that's kind of how that works. And it doesn't always start off like that. It starts off as one girl, and then usually over the course of the show, keeps adding more and more and more to his harem, so to speak. So there you go, harem anime. But anyway, this one's awesome as well. This one's called The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. And these names kill me every time. They always get me every time. And some of these names are super long, paragraphs long sometimes, but I love that about anime. They're going to get their point across. They're going to get their name of the show across no matter what. They don't care how long it is. And I think that's awesome. It's not like, oh, well, you need to cut this short and make this more, crispy. No, they're going to, whatever they need to tell you, okay, they're going to let it happen. And like I said, all these reallys in the title, they could have easily said, let's just keep one really in there and let's cut the rest of them out. No, they said, no, we want all the reallys in this whole sentence, and we're going to keep them there. So I thought the name alone was worthy of at least a chance and try to pick it up and see what it was about. And like I said, this is another one that I'm so glad that I had a chance to take a look at and watch, and really enjoy myself with this one. So he starts out with these 2 chicks, and one of them's, they're all different as well. Let me add and say that they're all different. And like I said, I'm only halfway through, but he was basically being rejected, up to the point of the first episode. He's always asked for dates and they've all turned him down. I think he was rejected damn near 100 times. And they used to joke about him, about being rejected. And so he makes this wish at this shrine, and he meets this guy. I don't know if he's a shaman or whatever he is, but he basically tells him, okay, your wish is going to come true. You're going to have 100 girlfriends. Now, the catch to all of this is, if you meet a girl and you end up having feelings for this girl and she has feelings for you, you have to maintain that relationship, because if you do not, then that girl will die. Okay. So that is the catch to this. And like I said, it is definitely something to behold because their personality so far, I think he's got 4 girlfriends now. Let me see. Let me make sure. In my head, I think it's like 4 girlfriends. Yeah, he has like 4 or 5 right now. And they're all different. They have multiple personalities. They're all built different, and all of that. You know what I mean? So physically, they're different. Emotionally, they're all different. And it was just a trip to see how all this works. Now, I don't know how he's going to get to 100 or how that's going to happen. But right now, he's only at 4 and I'm halfway through. So I don't know if they're going to stretch that or how they're going to end up doing that. But it's really cool because the dynamic between the girls, okay? Because of course the first 2 girls, they fight over each other. They fight for his affection. And then they finally realize, look, he loves us equally. We're just going to have to accept it. You know what I mean? And he loves them all equally. He definitely does. He shows them all the same love. And there's something about each of them that he finds attractive or endearing. And I just love the way that it was written so far. So I'm really enjoying this one as well. I'll definitely finish this one up this week, and then I don't know what I want to watch next though. I mean, I'm watching a couple other ones actually, not on Crunchyroll, because when I'm in bed, I try to watch a couple and I can't watch Crunchyroll in bed because the app that we have doesn't allow Crunchyroll for whatever reason, which is I don't understand it. I'm still pissed about that. But I found some on Hulu and I found one on Netflix that I'm trying to give a shot to, and I'll definitely give you more information on those once I dig a little bit deeper into some of those. I found one that I actually like on Hulu, I think. So we're really interesting one there. I've watched a couple episodes there, so I'll keep you guys posted on that one a little bit later. But right now, these are the ones that are on my list front row, and I definitely recommend both of them. If you're looking for something like this, if you're looking for a slice of life or a harem type of thing, you definitely need to give these a gander, and they're on Crunchyroll, so you can't lose with that. Okay. Now that I got that out of the way, my anime watch list, let's go and let's talk about Nintendo, okay? And I want to talk about this because apparently there's a leak going on, and most of us knew, or most of us do know, that the Switch 2 is coming out this year, okay? Nintendo can say whatever the fuck they want. We know it's coming out this fucking year. And apparently a company who bought out Game Shark, okay? And if you guys don't remember Game Shark was like this thing back in the day where it was kind of like a cheat device or whatever. You can get different codes to unlock different things in certain games, you know, multiple lives, and maybe, you know, you can't ever die and lose health. There's all kinds of things you can make the Game Shark do. And this company now, they changed the name. It's called AI Shark now. So apparently it's designed to like help you progress so far. So the AI lets you kind of, if you're struggling with the game, it'll kind of hold your hand and it'll help you and slowly taper off as you progress through the game. So it's kind of like training wheels for gamers, so to speak. So you're playing it, it's kind of making you a little bit safer. And then as you get better and better, it lightens up on the help. And before you know it, you're playing by yourself and you're like, hey, look, mom, I did it, type of thing. So that's what they're trying to convey with what this is now, but I don't know the extent of it. But anyway, what got everybody talking is the fact that these guys basically said, look, we have this Game Shark. It's called AI Shark now. And what we're trying to tell everybody is that it's going to be releasing on the same day. We're going to be releasing this neck and neck with the Nintendo Switch 2. So we're going to be releasing this September 2024. Okay. Now, a lot of people are like, wow, they really did that. And I think they knew that, you know, they've probably easily been in talks with Nintendo. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people who've already gotten the dev kits for Nintendo Switch 2 and all that, and actually are making games as we speak right now. They know the release date of this, right? But they're not saying anything. And Nintendo probably assumed that these guys were going to keep their lips closed as well. So when this came out, Nintendo literally called them, and basically said, look, you motherfuckers are going to reword that. You're going to retract your statement or else, because if you don't, we are going to cut you and this Game Shark will not be used for our product, period. So literally they did that and they put out another statement, which in my opinion makes them look even more guilty. It doesn't help them at all. Okay. The damage has been done, and basically said, look, we're going to kind of retract that. And basically Nintendo made them say, we're just speculating on that September 2024 release date. Okay. First they said it was coming out concrete. Okay. And now they're saying, no, we changed that. We meant to say we were speculating that that is going to be the release date. So number one, Nintendo going to them and making them make that statement says it all. Okay. It just says whatever everybody knows. It is coming out in September sometime in 2024, period. That's it. Okay. Damage has been done. It's basically like if you're in trial and you say some shit and, hey, this guy shot 3 people in the head and the attorney's like, objection, Your Honor, something to witness. Okay. Well, and the judge tells them, hey, you know what? Retract. Forget you guys ever heard that. We're not going to put this in. Let's basically swipe these comments from the trial. But everybody's already heard that shit. And they're like, look, we already know what happened. So there's no way you can retract that. Okay. And that's pretty much what happened here. So I think it's safe to say we're probably going to get this Nintendo Switch 2 in September of 2024, unless Nintendo does something drastic and tries to push it back maybe a month or two or something crazy like that. But I have a good feeling that we're going to be getting it around that time, right before holiday season. They're going to push it. They're going to make oodles and oodles and oodles of fucking money. And I think that's what's going to happen. So just think about it. If you just follow the breadcrumbs, it all makes sense. September is a perfect time to have that release because you give people plenty of time between September and December to go ahead and make those purchases. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be in high demand. It's going to be like the PS5. It's going to be very hard to get. And people are going to be trying to scalp these things. It's going to be all that all over again. That's the shit that I'm not looking forward to with the Switch 2. And I'm not going to participate in those activities, man. I'm just going to sit back and wait until we get some readily available at your local stores for the base price and not have to worry about paying scalp prices. I know me personally, that's what I'm going to do. And, I think it'll be safe, especially for brand new systems like that, because it takes time for these systems that are brand new to build up a lot of that steam, for those releases to come out and really let people get the chance to finally sink their teeth into, that said console. So that's the route I'm taking. And, I recommend you guys do the same. Now, if you just die hard and you just have to have it, you don't care and you want to pay that price, so be it as well. But like I said, if the games aren't available, there's no reason for me to run and say, hey, I have to play this or I need this now. And that's what we'll do. Now, maybe there is a game that comes out or will come out and they may take that approach. And I'll address that when we get to it. But right now, that's my stance on it. And that's the route I'm going to take. Could it change? Sure. Yeah, it could. I'm keeping it real with you guys. It could change. But right now, as I sit here telling you what I'm telling you, it has not. So we'll see. Anyway, that's that on the Nintendo Switch news. Now let's move on down the line and let's get into some Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. There has been a lot, and I mean a lot of shit going on about this game, guys. This game comes out January 30th, 2024. So it comes out this month and only a couple weeks away. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all, guys. The previews are out. All the gaming outlets have previewed this game and they all say that this game sucks. Okay. And they are letting everybody know what most of us already knew. At least I knew personally that what this game is going to fucking suck. The butter has been on the table. It's been sitting there for days. And it's already been liquefied and it's just sitting there. Okay. Nice and warm, ready to be used on anybody who is prepared to buy this game and go into this blindly and not know what the fuck they're doing. There's going to be a lot of blind buys here. People who are just into, the Suicide Squad maybe, or they don't know too much about gaming news and what goes on behind the scenes there. And they're just going to buy the game and they're going to find out the hard way that this game is going to be very stale, very quickly. And the writing's on the wall. All you got to do is follow the breadcrumbs, look at all of the other media outlets and listen to what they're saying. And you can't even candy coat it. There's no way you can do it. It's just the premise of the game and its inception was trash. The butter was there before anything else happened. I saw the butter way, 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 way before all this happened. And I talked a little bit about this, guys, if you remember podcasts ago. I don't know exactly which podcast, but I remember talking about this game and I remember telling you guys that the butter was on the table, and it is. And whenever you take a Suicide Squad and you give everybody guns, everybody has a gun. And the moral of the story is to shoot your enemy. That's it. All right. Hey, we're going against the Flash. He's turned bad. We're going to kill him. How? We're going to shoot him. And everybody takes that same approach. Everybody has a gun. And you run around this fucking map, this cluttered map, and with a bunch of bullshit, and you shoot people, and that is it. Okay. And then on top of that, you have all of these microtransactions that are going to occur, and skins and all this other stuff, these upgrades to your weapons and things of that nature. And you have a big ass fiasco here. I'm just really disappointed in Rocksteady for this. And you know what? I feel like everybody in the gaming sector feels like they just have to take a chance. They have to take this shot at trying to monetize fucking games, as a service, as a paid service, trying to do this and trying to put their hat in the ring. And it ends in tragedy every time. They spent millions of dollars making this game. Okay. And now they're going to pay for it. All right. They're going to take a major L. This game is already dead and it's not even out yet. That's the sad part about it. It's already dead and it's not even out yet. And I feel for the devs who worked on this. And I don't feel for the people who actually decided to construct this piece of trash. Okay. Because they were just trying to get paid, and they're going to learn the hard way that this is not the recipe, that they thought it was. All right. Everybody can't do this. Everybody can't be Fortnite. Okay. And that's just what everybody's trying to do. They're trying to take a shot in the dark and say, look, let's make the next Fortnite. Let's be the next the next Apex Legends, or the next whatever the fuck. And it's not working. Okay. And let's take this fucking DC IP and these characters and let's try to extract some money. You can't do that now, because people aren't stupid anymore. People are watching this stuff. People are observing. The information is at everyone's fingertips now. You can go dig as deep as you want in these companies. You can go look at all these things, leak photos and videos and gameplay and all these things, and draw your own conclusions. And that's what people are doing now. They're not leaving it up to chance and just spending their money, because people can't afford that now. You can't afford to just blow your money on fucking trash right now. It's just, if you're going to buy games, you're going to want to make sure that the shit is worth your time and money, and you're going to be able to enjoy it for an extended period of time. You're not going to want to worry about the servers crashing or going down, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to come out, it's going to get trashed, and the servers are going to get fucking killed within months, probably the first 3 months, the first 90 days. If it makes it 6 months, I'll be surprised. Okay. And each day that they leave these servers alive, they're going to be hemorrhaging money. And that's just what it is. Okay. And you would think that they would take the hint, but hey, I guess they figured we spent all this money putting this stuff together. We might as well put it out and give it a chance. And they said they're not going to go out like the Avengers game did. And if I'm being honest, it looks like it could be worse. So we will definitely see. I got this game being a free to play game very, very soon, guys, in the first 90 days of release. And we'll see what happens there, because they're charging full price for this game. Keep that in mind. This game is not free to play. Just keep that in mind as well. We've got the microtransactions going. We got all these things going. They want you to pay your $70 plus tax, which is about $75. That's what they want from you. Okay. And with all the games that are coming out, if you want to spend your time playing this shit, go right ahead, but it's not going to be me. And I'm just going to be laughing in the back with my popcorn. I'm going to have plenty of butter on my popcorn. So it's in the water. Okay. And they're going to learn their lesson. Rocksteady, look, we just want Batman games. Hey, do a Superman game. Do something. Stay to do what you are known for. Do what we all love you for. I mean, why rock the boat? If it ain't broke, why try to fix it? You see what I'm saying? And that's me. That's the problem I have with them. I think they should just take that same recipe and elaborate on what they already have with the Batman series. That's what they should have done. Single player, open world experiences, great storytelling. That's what got them where they are today. That's what gave them the name. When you think Rocksteady, that's what comes up in my head, at least. Why change it? It's corporate greed is what it is. And now they're going to reap what they sow. So they did it to themselves, is what I'm going to say. Hopefully they can recover from this, and hopefully we never see another game from Rocksteady like this. And the next game we see will be something that they were known for in a good way. Okay, another Batman game. Maybe they do that with another franchise. They could have really did this with all the money they fucking wasted on this piece of shit game. They could have done this with the Justice League. I mean, or with the fucking Suicide Squad. They could have made a grounded, open world experience that was story driven, and it didn't have to be fucking online or anything like that. It could have just been an awesome game where you gave every member different set of skills. You kept it true to form. You know, Harley Quinn doesn't run around with a fucking gun. She doesn't do that. You know, she has her little bat and she does her thing. A lot of these characters, man, don't fucking use guns. I mean, just keep it real. Keep it true to the actual books and the actual lore of that said universe. And they're not doing that. It's just a cash grab, in my opinion. And I think, I know I'm not alone in this. It'll be what it'll be, man. And sad funeral. It's already over. So I'll bring my flowers, and I'll definitely bring plenty of fucking butter. Let's talk about a game that I talked about briefly in the past, but I didn't really elaborate on it too much. But now it's popping up everywhere, and I have to kind of discuss this. And this is something that could be the birth of something beautiful, man. I have a friend who really loves a game that goes by the name of Ark. Okay, Ark Survival. But yeah, he loves that game, and he's been having a shit ton of terrible luck with this game. Okay. Ark is one of those games where you have to deal with other players. It can get very intense. Okay. There's a PvP side and there's also a PvE side. They're both different. PvP is you have to literally be on the money at all times. You cannot rest. You cannot turn your back, and you have to trust the people around you when you play it. And I think he said he put over 1,000 hours in this fucking game thus far. Okay. He bought it for PlayStation, and he also bought it for Microsoft, Xbox, or whatever. And he's just been telling me these war stories, how all his team fell apart, and he got into it with some people because they were doing some shit that they weren't supposed to be doing, and stabbing people in the back and taking shit and doing all these things. I'm like, wow, that sounds very stressful. And, I couldn't play that. You know what I mean? But anyway, he had some good times at the beginning, and then it just started to kind of, you know, just fall by the wayside. But anyway, I bring that up because I want to tell him about this game. I don't know if he really knows about this game, and he was a Pokemon fan back in the day. So he really might appreciate this. And I was never really a Pokemon player, but I did appreciate everything about Pokemon. I was in the Dragon Ball right around that time that Pokemon came out, and it was kind of like a fork in the road, and I went to the Dragon Ball route. But I know a lot of people who love Pokemon, and I do respect the way Pokemon has inserted itself into pop culture and the games and all of that. And you have to appreciate anything like that. When you have a fandom like that, as big as it is, you have to at least acknowledge it. You know what I mean? So that is something I've always done. But this game here is a mixture of a lot of different things. Okay. It's a third person shooter, monster collection or monster collecting game. It's also got, survival and crafting involved in this, guys. It's got diverse environments. It's got strategic combat, even base building. Okay. So it has a lot of shit in this stuff in this game. And it's also going to have extensive multiplayer support. So they plan on supporting this game for years to come, supposedly. So it's basically, I want to say it's early access. It's an early access right now, and it's coming out January 19th. So this is the same day that the same day that The Last of Us 2 remastered comes out. Okay. So this is something that, if you don't have a PlayStation, you're out of luck, because it's not coming out for the PlayStation. Now, this is going to be for Windows, and it's also going to be for Microsoft. It's also going to be for Xbox. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. And so if you have Game Pass, it's going to be day one available. So that's, like I said, that's kind of like the gift, in my opinion, of Game Pass that keeps on giving. And this is definitely going to be one of those gifts. So it's going to give me an opportunity to go in here and try this out. I've seen the graphics. I've seen some gameplay. If you guys are curious, it's called PAL World, PAL World. And you want to probably check this out. You have guns. You can create your own character. You can build your own base. You can do all these things. You can also play it offline or online, which, had me worried for a second, but knowing that is also just a breath of fresh air. And they said that in the future, as they begin to put more stuff out on the game, that they're going to be adding stuff to it. So in other words, say you wanted to go to someone else's world, You can do that, but you're not going to be able to take your character in your world to their world. Okay. The only way you'd be able to keep your character is if you invited people into your world. So they're in your world, you have your stats, you do your thing. When they come in there, I don't know if you start fresh. I'm assuming you start from, a different character in that universe or whatever. I don't know exactly how that's going to pan out, but right now that's what they're talking about. And they're saying that they have future plans to change that to where eventually you will be able to take your character into someone else's world. And like I said, this is crafting and base building and all this stuff. So I guess you can build forts and you can do all these things, defend your base, go out, get more stuff and supplies for your base, and collect monsters as well. So when you collect monsters, they should, I guess, be able to help you fend off different enemies or help you fight against other enemies. And it looks pretty interesting. It looks like something that I would definitely try out for sure. And I'm going to, try it out this weekend, and I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys posted and give you the skinny on all that. But yeah, this is something that, kind of was a surprise to me. I completely forgot about this, and it's free on Game Pass. So I'm definitely going to take the opportunity and see what it has to offer. So yeah, I think it's like $30 if you don't have Game Pass and you want to check it out for early access. And then I think they plan on raising the price when the initial release date comes out. So the full game or whatever, I think they're going to charge $60 for it. So if you think you like the game and you don't have Game Pass, you might want to check it out. Go ahead and get that $30 out, pay that. And then when the game comes out, you've already bought it and you don't have to pay anything extra. You've already bought the beta or the access, the early access. So you're good, so I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of people talking about this game. So I'm kind of interested to see what is going to happen with that. So yeah, there you have that. But anyway, that's Pal World. Check it out. It's coming out this weekend, and we'll go from there. Now, last but not least on this list, I want to talk about the Gran Blue Fantasy Relink demo. Okay, the demo came out. There were rumors out here in these video game streets that the demo was going to come out, and it is here. And I've been playing it, and I am loving the fuck out of it. Okay. I played with a lot of different characters, tried a lot of different characters out, still playing it too, because in essence, the demo is only maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long, depending on how you fucking do it. If you just ran through it, there's 3 different modes. The first mode is the training mode. You get to go there and you train with the main character, Gran, the guy. And then after that, you go to this kind of mission based area, and you're still controlling Gran, and you have like a team with you. You have 4 people and you're controlling Gran for the most part. Then you have this other mode that opens up to where you can create your own team, if you will. You can have 4 players, whoever you want, and you can go out and you can even select the number of players you want. You don't have to have all 4. You can say, you know what? I want to go out by myself with this one set character, and I want to try this character out. And you can do that as well. So, and you can do them over and over again. That's another cool thing about, games like this. If you do a mission and you like this mission, or you're trying to farm something, you can go and do that mission a number of different times and until you find what you need. Right. So that's what that entails. I found 2 characters that I'm going to be using, that I'm going to be starting with. Now, the game is going to have 20 characters on release that you can choose from. The demo has 11 to choose from currently. I want to say it's 11 of them to choose from. It could be 9. I can't remember. I get those numbers mixed up, but you'd get a decent amount of characters to choose from and get acclimated with. Me personally, I like this guy that goes by the name of, Rackam, Rackam. He's the only gun welder that is in the demo right now. There's another gun welder as well, but he's not playable right now. But I like him a lot. The other character that I really, really love, though, is, I think you pronounce her name by Narmaya. I think that's how you pronounce it, Narmaya. And she is a katana welding, big titty, big horned swordswoman. Okay. And she goes hard. Okay. She's really popular. A lot of people fuck with her, for her moveset or whatever. And the thing about this game is every character is different. Okay. Every character has, controls different, all that. It kind of reminds me of Genshin Impact in a sense, but without the gacha mechanic. Okay. Cause that game was cool. Every character was pretty much different and had different moves and stuff like that. But you had to play the gacha game thing. All right. You had to gamble and it was just a draw. You didn't have a chance to pick who you wanted and all of that. If you wanted a certain character, you had to pay money to get a chance to get them, all these type of things. And that's not this. Okay. It's basically all the good things out of a gacha game, but you don't have to pay for that shit. Okay. You can use who you want and you can figure out how they play and, figure out their styles and stuff. Cause like I said, it looks on the surface easy to play them. But then when you start playing around and stuff, you start realizing, no, this has definitely got layers to it. And there's already videos coming out. I've seen a handful of them already. And the depth is insane with these characters once you start learning how they work. That's got me very excited to even get back in there and play around, figure out how the combos work, figure out how the perfect blocks and parries and all those things work, and to get that optimized damage. And this is just a demo. So keep in mind that when you get the full game, you'll be able to hunt down all the weapons, which all have different properties associated with them. Same thing for armor and gear that you can obtain in the games and all these things. Then when you start grabbing all these things, consuming all these things, you'll understand that, oh, you can start putting builds around these characters and start figuring things out like, okay, wow, I want this character to do this. I want this character to be a stun machine, or I want this character to be a damage, machine, nothing but damage, a glass cannon, and so on and so forth. Or you may want somebody to have a super cooldown character and you just want them to be able to launch their specials pretty much almost instantly, and you can spec into those things. All these things, they have traits and you can upgrade and figure out different paths you want to take with that said character. And then you start a dream team. You say, okay, this is my favorite character here. And then here's some other ones that I actually really like. And then you want to start using those characters, taking them on with you on missions and unlocking their things and then building around that character. So there's also cool skins and stuff. I've seen some skins and some of the skins that I saw, oh man, they look sick. Okay. So I am excited about this game. This game, I think, comes out on the 2nd, February 1st or February 2nd, one of those days. And I think you get early access. You get a few days early. I think you can get it on the 29th or the 30th if you pre-order the game. Okay. So I'm really on the fence and I'm wondering if I should pre-order that. I still may end up doing that. Like I said, guys, I'm going to find out one thing. And then if I get the answer that I'm looking for, then that'll make me do it. And what that is I want to see if the game is going to be on the disc, because I think the game is about 90 gigs in size. And right now the discs that a lot of these games come on, I want to say it's 100 that can go on one disc. They can put 100 on there. I don't get me lying, man. It may be 50. I could be wrong. But anyway, if I find out that, which most games tend to do, is they make you download at least half of the game once you buy the physical, then I may go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to skip the physical and just go ahead and download it. So we'll see what happens with that. That way I won't wait. And then I can play a little bit early, get the early access going, because a few days after that, you have Persona 3 Reload dropping. So on Game Pass. So I'm looking forward to that one too. So it's like, ooh, I'll be switching between those two games. I know I'm going to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on, popping off right now. And then there's another RPG coming. I think it's January or it may be February. I can't remember the name of the game right now, either Chronicles of something, but it's one that's a lot of people are anticipating. It's a turn-based anime. I mean, not anime. It's a turn-based RPG, and it looks like it's going to be the shit. So like I said, another day one Game Pass game. I'm utilizing the fuck out of Game Pass. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, plenty of things to play. And then you have Dragon's Dogma coming out in March. And you also have Rise of the Ronin, which I don't know which one I'm picking day one, but that's going to be a hard one. That is definitely going to be a hard one for me to pick one or the other. So, yeah, that's a dilemma for me, man. It's a good thing though, when you have a problem like that and you're just trying to figure out, what to do. So here we go. We're here, man. New year, 2024. We got all these dope games and I'm so excited and so happy to be here and experience what 2024 has to offer. We got the Switch coming out, the Switch 2. So I can't wait to see what that entails. Like, it's just going to be a crazy year for games. 2023 was like a record year. In my opinion, we had just one of the best years in gaming in a long time. And now we finally got all these systems out, and the developers are really getting a chance now to kind of push this stuff out to us. They've got time to work on these things, and we got a lot of stuff on the way, man. So strap in, guys, get the popcorn ready. Don't forget the butter. And we're going to have a beautiful ride, I think, in 2024 when it comes to games. So I'm here for it. And I love video games. You guys know that. So I'm going to get out of here now. I want to say thank everybody for downloading, streaming, listening to the podcast and the show. Discord I'm working on, so I'm not going to give a time on that. I just know it's going to be this year sometime. I really want to get my Discord up. I definitely want to get it up within the first half of this year and running so that we can get some things started. We can have some nice chats. I can bring you guys in. I really want to find somebody to play a Grand Blue Fantasy with if possible. Some of you guys might want to jump in, or just kind of just jump in and talk about shit, anime, games, recommendations for stuff like that. I kind of want to build a community. And I mean, when I say that, I'm going to do that in 2024. I always try to do something new and different, and that's going to be my thing there. So definitely check me out on all my handles, guys. You can get me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver. You can get me on TikTok at Random Gameplay Pimpin. Also on YouTube at Random Gameplay Pimpin. Show your love, subscribe. Content every day there, like I said, and there's lots of content also on my TikTok. So definitely support me there, guys. And I'll let you guys know when the Discord is up, and then we can get that ball rolling and then we can get some stuff started, So with that being said, I'm going to bow out gracefully, and I want to say I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support, all my listeners. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you guys next week, man. This is Studio MacGyver, and you've been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.